Hello. Welcome to, well, the beginning of the end, I guess. And it is the beginning of the end. Because I don't think, even if we wanted to, I don't think there's anything else we could do with our companions right now. We have the best weaponry, the best stuff. One thing I will have to check. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to get Liliana some better stuff, because at the moment, yeah, studded leather armor is not going to do the job. So, and also I want one of these. Thank you. Thank you. Right. Yes. So please bear with me whilst I'm doing this. Because let's get back to Soldier's Peak. And then we're going to Redcliffe. I promise you, we will be done. We are starting new content now. I know we've been, since Orzammar, we've been treading water a little bit, just, you know, getting our companions sorted out and things. But now, pretty much on the way. Yes. Nice. 50 points to put in. Good, we'll have a bard and we'll have an assassin, because that's what she is. 22 strength. 25 cunning. Cool. Oops, look at that. Okay. Nice. So I will go with Assassin rather than Bard, simply because, like, I'm kind of tired of shouting and then pulling
Warden.
stuff on me that I don't really need. See your wares, your man. Right, looking at Drakeskin would be good. Yeah. I don't want to have Grey Warden stuff. I know people do buy Grey Warden stuff for other characters, but it's just not my kind of thing. Because it's not, you know what I mean? It's just not something she would wear. Do you know what? She could actually have the Oh no, the Drake skin's much better, isn't it? Yeah, Drake skin's much better. It's the arcane robes. Yeah, Drake skin. I'm hoping he's going to look cool, but studded leather boots that are Drake skin. Studded leather gloves. Drake skin. Yep. I think that's it. Have Warden Scout Hood. I think these are pretty cool, so... In fact, I might get more than one. Might get a few of them. Like them that much. Right. Just the little boots. Da da da. Where's the armour then? I should have got the armour. Studded leather boots, studded leather armour, studded leather gloves. No, it hasn't quite worked, does it? Don't think. Oh, it doesn't like her hair being covered up, right? Okay, that's fine. That's cool. Cool. So she's got good armour on now, which is good. What if I wore that hood? That doesn't like it on me either. Weird. Okay. Bit of a waste of money. I should really reload it because it's not going to work like that. Yeah, sorry about this, folks. Again, I should really like. I shouldn't be wasting. I mean, if it was just one or like 6 or 7 gold, I wouldn't be bothered with it. But you know, I draw the line at like.
Indeed.
I draw the line at like 25 gold that I've just thrown down the drain. Don't know what's wrong with those helmets. I've never seemed to be able to get them working. They all seem to clip through and not do very much in terms of...
Warden.
Hello. Oh, wait. Yeah.
Warden.
Cool. What do we have? I want to get her some pre-Warden. So I could do that, couldn't I? Arcane gloves. One of those. Grey Warden Scout boots. So I'm thinking it's okay to get her the actual boots and gloves as long as she doesn't wear the actual armour, because the armour would be a bit silly. Complete skin leather armour though. Very nice. Cool. Excellent. Okay. Now we just need the respecialisation and we're good to go. Off to Redcliffe we will go. Da-di-da.
Indeed.
Lovely. Got another 5 to get here as well. Nice. Now, 1, 2, 3, and yeah, I think that's good. What weapon does she have? That's actually quite a good weapon. Okay, fair enough. There we are. We're ready to go.
What say you? Again? I'm game.
Never mind.
I'm here for you.
Just double checking.
Of course.
Never mind. Alright, let's go. I'm ready to go. So going to Redcliffe, I think we should have
Yes.
obviously Sten, because Sten is my life. Alistair's going to be there anyway. So we'll
Indeed.
take one of those. Ooh.
Will you stop eating?
I'm hungry.
Stuff your face at camp. For now, watch the bloody road.
Just gonna leave. Whatever. Have fun, guys. Oh. So we're gonna have to fight them anyway. Great.
Defend yourself! Lost me and you shall pay!
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Oh, that looked like it would go somewhere very nice.
Right ahead.
Watch it, horror!
One more
Right
dude right
ahead.
here.
Right ahead. Right ahead.
I went round.
All right, all
well.
right.
I thought we respect her as being more of an assassin because she's gone down that road personally, hasn't she? Really, when you think about it. All right, time for the Landsmeet.
Don't swing wildly!
So you would not think it's summer in Britain, like you just wouldn't. It's just raining. This time last year, it was so hot. This time last year, do people say that about England all the time? Oh, it's just terrible.
All right.
It's not all the time. Right now, it's horrible, but it's not summer at all. But back last year though, and a few years before that as well, it's been absolutely boiling in summer. But not right now, unfortunately.
Got it.
Right, ready to go.
I understand you've acquired all the allies you could. That's good. We can call the Landsmeet if you are ready. I would prefer not giving Loghain time to consider, but it is up to you. I do not wish to go to Denerim unless you are with me.
Let's go to Denerim now.
Excellent. I shall make the arrangements. Let us be off to Denerim, and may the Maker watch over us. Denerim is the heart and soul of Ferelden. It was the city of King Calenhad, the birthplace of Andraste. As stubborn as a Mabari, and as good to have on your side. If we defeat Loghain here, the rest of the nation will follow us. By calling the Landsmeet, I've struck the first blow. The advantage, for the moment, is ours. He will have little choice but to show himself, to oppose us directly. He will strike back at us. The only question that remains is how soon. Loghain, this is an honor that the Regent would find time to greet me personally.
How could I not welcome a man so important as to call every lord in Ferelden away from his estates, while a blight claws at our land?
The Blight is why I'm here. With Cailan dead, Ferelden must have a king to lead it against the Darkspawn.
Ferelden has a strong leader. Its queen. And I lead her armies.
Now, the thing is good that Alistair isn't actually here, because it keeps him out of, you know... keeps him out of, shot. If you know what I mean. Considering Ostagar, perhaps we need a better general.
Ah, the Grey Warden recruit. I thought we might meet again. You have my sympathies on what happened to your order. It is unfortunate that they chose to turn against Ferelden.
I don't accept the sympathies of deserters and regicides.
You should curb your tongue. This is my city, and no safe place to speak treason. For anyone. There is talk that your illness left you feeble, Eamon. Some worry that you may no longer be fit to advise Ferelden.
Illness? Why not call your poison by its true name? Not everyone at the Landsmeet will cast aside their loyalties as easily as you and these sycophants.
How long you've been gone from court, Eamon? Don't you recognize Rendon Howe, Arl of Amaranthine and Terran of Highever?
And current Arl of Denerim, after Urien's unfortunate fate at Ostagar. Truly, it is an embarrassment of riches.
I demand... yeah, you would say the second one. I demand blood rights. This man murdered my family.
You have no rights. Your family surrendered them when I revealed them to be traitors to the king.
I'm really going to enjoy cutting your throat.
You are either very bold or very stupid to threaten the Ten before witnesses.
Enough, Calthrian. This is not the time or place. I had hoped to talk you down from this rash course, Eamon. Our people are frightened. Our king is dead. Our land is under siege. We must be united now if we are to endure this crisis. Your own sister, Queen Rowan, fought tirelessly to see Ferelden restored. Would you see her work destroyed? You divide our nation and weaken our efforts against the Blight, with your selfish ambitions to the throne.
What efforts can there be when you outlaw the Grey Wardens?
Cailan depended on the Grey Warden's prowess against the Darkspawn, and look how well that ended. Let us speak of reality rather than tall tales. Stories will not save us.
I cannot forgive what you've done, Loghain. Perhaps the Maker can, but not I. Our people deserve a king of the Theron bloodline. Alistair will be the one to lead us to victory in this blight.
The Emperor of Orlais also thought I could not bring him down. Expect no more mercy than I showed him. There is nothing I would not do for my homeland.
Well, that was bracing. I didn't expect Loghain to show himself quite so soon.
Hal killed my family. I can't let him get away with it.
I would not ask you to. But bear in mind that he will be well protected by his alliance with Loghain. He always seemed the kind of man who enjoyed kicking stray dogs. I would not have thought Loghain would trust him. We need eyes and ears in the city. Loghain has been here for months. The roots of all his schemes must begin here. The sooner we find them, the better we can turn them to our advantage. Go have a look around, and see what you can turn up. Better yet, find the nobles who have arrived for the Landsmeet. Test the waters. See how many will support us. When you're ready to talk strategy, come upstairs to my sitting room. We can lay out our plans for the Landsmeet then.
Alright.
Everything in here appears to be breakable. It seems most impractical.
Yeah, you're still with me, I see.
Yes. It destroyed the Anvil of the Void. I would not have thought... It could just as easily have defied Caridon, I think. I feel I owe it. Enough that I'm willing to remain with it and assist in its crusade against the Darkspawn. Unless it wishes me to leave.
Do what you want.
Then I shall remain. It is too interesting to abandon for now. Perhaps we should continue. Its chances of success are small enough without further dawdling.
Fair enough. Why did I get 84 bronze coins? Copper bits, they're called.
If one more servant asks if I would like a change of clothes, I will set the house on fire. I await your command. We are hardly alone, so privacy is not an option. It is your question, however. Ask what you will.
Oh god, don't want to say any of those.
This is not as defensible as I would like, but it will do. What is your wish, Kadan? I am hardly surprised.
Yeah, actually.
Very well. As you wish.
Have anything else to say? It's cool. No one's in here. Okay. So this is Arlemon's estate in the actual capital, so it's not actually the normal place. It's not there. It's not Redcliffe. Come quite a long way though, considering. Now where? Who's everyone? Ah, they're all in this room here.
You know, I could get to like this. The last time I came to Denerim, I stayed at an inn so filthy the bedbugs had fleas. What say you?
This is a nice change from having to sleep in the woods, isn't it? I'm here for you.
What do you know of this place?
Denerim is Ferelden's most important city, yes? This is the seat of power, the jewel in the crown of the king. She is Ferelden's heart. Her walls are strong, but within them lies so much beauty, just like the country and the people. I'm here for you.
Cool.
I hope all the accommodations are to your liking, Warden. Please let me know if anything is troubling you.
Yeah, this guy's voice actors in like everything. I think it's Danny Glover. I think it's Danny Glover.
This is a nice estate, isn't it? Is there something you need?
Why didn't you want to stay at the tower?
The Circle is in good hands. Irving knows what to do, and he doesn't need me underfoot. For now, I will support those that battle the Darkspawn. I do feel I left things unfinished in Ostagar. There is so much left to do. and I would be part of it.
I'm glad for your company, at least.
The Grey Wardens, all 2 of you, need all the help you can get. I will see this through to the bitter end, and after that, if I am still left standing, then I will return to the Circle.
I wanted to make sure you really wanted this.
No, of course I don't. I'm old and unsure of what I'm doing. Actually, I'd rather be in a warm chair in the sun, being served pudding, or some other easily digestible food.
Well, that can be arranged.
Well, get on it then, and make sure there's a blanket in my chair, and that it's soft, and that the pudding doesn't have cream on it. Cream gives me gas.
I got a moment, sure. What about?
What was it like to be a warrior in Orzammar?
You get a sword or an axe, and are told to go out and defend your city. It's the best thing in the world. That is until you try to live in the city you saved.
What do you mean?
I mean, they train you to kill, teach you to harness your rage at the first noise you hear, then try to set 100 sodding rules about it. Like those provings. Ancestors show their favor through the strongest arm, right? So why so many rules saying how to fight, and when you win, and not to bloody kill? Killing's what swords are for.
So why don't they just give you blunted weapons?
You can kill with blunted weapons, Warden. Well, maybe you can't. This makes me cranky. Don't you have any other inane questions?
Nope.
All right. Aye, all right then.
So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do here. Because normally when he's romancing Morrigan, I might get married to the Queen or something, but in this one I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Ah, Warden. I trust you've made yourself comfortable.
Actually, I was hoping for silk sheets and candied grapes, you know.
Why don't we ensure Loghain won't have us all executed first, and worry about how to celebrate later? This is Elena. She's...
I am Queen Enora's handmaiden. She sent me here to ask for your help.
Or perhaps the young lady prefers to speak for herself.
Why would Enora ask us for help?
The Queen, she is in a difficult position. She loved her husband, no? And trusted her father to protect him. When he returns with no king and only dark rumors, what is she to think? She worries, no? But when she tries to speak with him, he does not answer. He tells her not to trouble herself.
I'm not seeing where our help comes in.
So she goes to how? A visit from the Queen to the new Isle of Denrum is only a matter of courtesy. And she demands answers.
That's crazy. How's a lunatic?
He calls her every sort of name, traitor being the kindest, and locks her in a guest room.
And Loghain would allow that?
King Kalen was like a son to him, and Loghain left him to die. Does he love Enora more? Who can say? I think her life is in danger. I heard Hal say she would be a greater ally dead than alive, especially if her death could be blamed on Arl Eamon.
Would Loghain kill his own daughter just to frame Eamon?
We may have no choice but to trust Enora. The Queen is well loved. If Loghain succeeded in pinning her death on me, I'm not sure that's a risk we can afford to take.
Why did you trust her? This could all be a setup.
I fear if this is a trap, we are already caught in it. They can kill Enora whether or not we act, and blame her death on Few would believe our word over Logain's. We can only defend ourselves with the Queen in hand.
Alright.
I have some uniforms. I'll hire so many new girls every day. A few more will not cause much stir. I will show you to the servants' entrance. We must slip in and out with my queen before anyone is the wiser. I will go ahead to House Estate. Meet me there as soon as you can.
I haven't been here in a while. They've changed the dining room. Something on your mind? Of course.
Oh, I'll ask you some questions next time. It's fine. Got things to do first.
Yes.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Alright.
You were in the Chantry. You are a priest?
No, I was a lay sister of the Chantry.
Which means...
I lived and worked in the Chantry, but I did not take any vows.
So you dabbled in priesthood then?
Oh no, the lay sisters don't have the same sorts of duties as priests at all.
So you were not a priest, did none of their duties, and took no vows, but you lived among them?
Yes.
You were a house guest of the Chantry?
Sort of.
Where in the hell are we supposed to go? I forgot. Should have got to go around here.
Now's better than later.
Aha. Oh wait, no. Shit.
Got it.
Yes.
Indeed.
Really am so slow sometimes. Click the first thing that comes up.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my...
And away we go.
And so here is the mighty Grey Warden at long last. The crows send their greetings once again. And where is Zevran? I don't see him with you. How very disappointing.
Can we get this over with?
Yes, by all means. I simply wish to say hello to an old friend.
Here I am, Taliesin. Tell me, were you sent, or did you volunteer for the job?
Oh ho! And he makes an appearance. I volunteered, of course. When I heard that the great Zevran had gone rogue, I simply had to see it for myself.
Is that so? Well, here I am, in the flesh.
You can return with me, Zevran. I know why you did this, and I don't blame you. It's not too late. Come back and we'll make up a story. Anyone can make a mistake.
Of course, I'd need to be dead first.
And I'm not about to let that happen.
What? You've gone soft.
I'm sorry, my old friend, but the answer is no. I'm not coming back. And you should have stayed in Antiva.
Yes.
Indeed.
God's sake. God's sakes, Dan, come on.
My strength is failing. I'll get on it.
I never liked this part.
And there it is. Taliesin is dead. And I am free of the crows. They will assume that I am dead along with Taliesin. So long as I do not make my presence known to them, they will not seek me out.
That's a good thing, right?
A very good thing. It is in fact what I had hoped for ever since you decided not to kill me. I have enjoyed our company, but I am wondering if it is not time for me to leave. That would be the practical thing to do, no? There is a freedom awaiting me that I have never known. But I suppose the decision is yours. Will you let me go?
Then you want to stay for the treasure?
All right. You make a convincing argument. You do seem to stumble onto treasure on a regular basis somehow. Let us return to the task at hand, then. There is still much to be done, yes?
Damn straight.
Indeed.
I would take with the Zevran, but this is going to get really difficult
Now,
in a
better
minute.
than later.
The servants' entrance is on the other side of the house. We must slip past this crowd to reach it. We will have to be very careful. Al-How is inside.
I was here. What's the crowd gathered for?
The estate is in poor repair. The new Al, he has not been very prompt in paying his workmen. I will be right behind you.
No,
Okay.
Carpenter's Craft Hall has had enough of Hal's conveniently busy schedule. We will not be put off again.
Nor will the stonemasons. It's been a month since we've seen so much as a coin of Hal's for our work.
Your lordship is much engaged with the news. We'll hear your complaints as soon as... No visitors. Come back another day. No visitors. Come back another day.
I'll just walk right up to them.
Someone's creeping around down there. Go check it out.
Oh shit.
Just call me the Reaper!
Someone is coming.
Yeah, chicken coops and all sorts then, here.
I can distract the guards, but you must move quickly.
Wait, we need to put on our disguises.
Hurry! My lady does not have much time. Are you all prepared? I will go distract the guards.
Why bother? There's only 2 of them.
More guards patrol every hour. If they find these 2 missing, they will know... How you say... Something is amiss.
Let's go.
I will lure them into the courtyard. Wait in the bushes. Oh, you must come. I saw something. By the fountain. I think it was a darkspawn.
Darkspawn?
They will drag us all underground to be eaten.
Should we call for help?
Did you fall off a cart full of stupid? Call for help? So they can see us act like scared little girls because of some knife-eared wench?
They will eat us all alive! Please, get help!
If there is something out there and we don't sound the alarm, we'll look worse than scared.
And drast these holy knickers. Fine, we'll check the courtyard, if it'll keep you from wetting yourself. But there's nothing there.
Thank you. Oh! It was over here! Quickly!
You just take that disguise off then? Nope, not.
Ah, it took me forever to be rid of those 2. You must be careful now. The servants, they will not look closely at anyone in uniform. All guards are alike to a cook, no? But you should not draw attention to yourself. Most of the guards are new. They will not know you for a stranger at a glance. It is best you keep your distance from all of them and try to blend in.
Where's Nora?
She's in the guest room of the main hall. Andraste guide us.
Okay.
This kitchen is a disgrace. How did the old Arl servants ever cook anything in here? No one ever said the Kendalls had any sense.
For Andraste's sake, don't speak ill of the dead.
This roast is going to be charred on one side.
There's no help for it. We'll just trim it and feed the scraps to the dogs. Elena, where have you been? The housekeeper said you wanted at the palace.
I had errands to run for my lady.
Her Majesty's been quiet as a mouse all day and can't house where she's protecting her in her room.
She is, indisposed. Not to worry.
I say how off the level of thing and build a new one. He'd have to knock down every place he owns it.
You've seen all the guards now. So this is the one thing that I think is missing if you go with another origin, is that you don't get this part.
2 nights in a row.
You do get it, but it's not like you know. It's not as heartfelt, you know what I mean? Because you're not, you know, you don't have any personal stake.
Not in the tongues of all the nations of the world may the Maker's mercy be.
It's the front door.
The Grey Warden is here, my lady.
Thank the Maker. I would greet you properly, but I'm afraid we've had a setback.
What sort of setback?
My host was not content with leaving me under heavy guard. He sealed the door by magic.
Why didn't you mention this before, Alina?
I did not know. There were only guards here when I left. We must get her out of there.
Don't panic, Erlina. Find the mage who cast the spell. He'll most likely be at Hal's side.
Fine, I'll be back soon.
Thank you, Warden. My prayers go with you.
Tern Hao will probably be in his rooms. They're at the end of the hall, on the left.
Good.
What? Who goes there?
I thank you for creating such distraction, stranger. I have been waiting days for the opportunity. You never hear music in the sound of a key turning in a lock until you've been imprisoned.
Where's your hair gone, dude? My god, I think the game's breaking all around us. Impressive moves there for an old man.
Perhaps introductions are in order. If only so you never call me that again. I am Warden, Senior Grey Warden of Jada. And you must be Duncan's last recruit. Yes, you match his description.
What are you doing here?
For the most part, attempting to hold my tongue. I was sent when we received no word from King Kalen as to the outcome at Ostagar. The king had invited all the Wardens of Orlais and their support troops to join him. Then nothing.
How large a force did you bring with you?
We had 200 Wardens and 24 divisions of cavalry. The first we heard of Loghain's edict was when everyone was turned back at the border. That was when the rumor reached us that Wardens were being blamed for the massacre. We finally decided it was safest to send someone alone to learn how best to fight the Blight and this regime simultaneously. As a native Ferelden, I volunteered to make the crossing.
But the Archdemon's nearly here. Will we have no help?
The other Wardens won't risk their strength fighting Ferelden's civil war. If they spend themselves against Loghain, there is truly no hope. They recall accounts of the First Blight, how many cities fell. If Ferelden is too foolish to save itself, at least, we'll be ready when the Archdemon leads its forces further. Besides, I hear you haven't been doing badly at raising an army yourself. But perhaps if the edict can be lifted, I will send a message as soon as we are gone from this place.
How did Hal capture you?
With an offer of hospitality and a poisoned chalice. I was fool enough to think Loghain didn't yet know who I was.
Where's Hal?
I saw him going to the dungeons. He may still be there.
Why don't you come with me?
I wouldn't be much use to you in my current condition. And if you'll pardon me, I've a sudden desire to breathe some free air. I will seek you out later, after I find a good physician. And good luck, brother.
One sec, I'm going to figure out, it'll take me 2 seconds, we're going to figure out what the hell's going on with this hair, 1 sec. Right. It seems to be happening in that just one scene, so I think we should be okay. So I'm going to double check. Right. Pre-rendered cutscene. Okay, I think. Yeah. Oh well, is what it is. I'm afraid. Let's get on with it. I think it's just in this one scene, which is good. Which is what we want, really. And again, I appreciate new subscriber, that's awesome. But, don't want it on my screen as we're playing the game. There we go. I think we're nearly there. I think we're nearly there anyway. Yep, cool. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm just closing down all the windows so they don't get in the way.
Who goes?
Oh, quit kidding around, you know me.
You think you're clever, do you? Anybody tries to come in here without Hal's say-so, we get to do what we like with them. I think we finally got a bit of entertainment here, lads.
If I was closed, it's just here.
Watch out!
Wow, really? It does get pretty infuriating with Hal because you have ranged people in your party as well. They have a horrible knack of like you get all Hal. I think it's like really important that Royce does the final blow, and just they have this horrible knack of like you get all Hal down to a little bit, and you've been fighting him the entire time. One of your ranged people just decides to just take him out from long range in the weakest way ever. It's like, well, that's a good villain though. Whenever I want to kill him myself, that's a really good villain. We'll discuss how when we get there. We will discuss how when we get there.
All right.
choppy chop shop. Take all your shit.
Now's better than later.
Yeah. God, really? They were not here just 2 seconds.
So you can get off my back.
I'm not gonna lie, I think this is like the most well-oiled party I've had in Dragon Age so far.
I'll get on it.
That I've struggled with certain fights down here before, but we seem to just be breezing through it, which is really nice. So, which is pretty cool.
Something is coming. Now, better than
Cool. Key to the prison.
They said to retreat. The horn sounded and we turned, and then the screams. We rode and they screamed and screamed and...
Considering I was there, mate, shut the fuck up, will you? What do you mean retreat? Were you at Ostagar?
Mother, can you smell the blood? They said it was only Darkspawn. But we ate them too. They died. And we left them. In the swamp. The witch. The witch!
Do you suppose he actually saw my mother there? Or is he just blaming her in his madness?
You're free now, go somewhere safe.
Safe? Is there a safe? Perhaps next door?
What month is it? Are you some enemy of Aurelians? Please, I feel like I've spent half my life down here.
Now, if you are a city elf, this man is in your origin when the game starts. Al-Yorin was not a nice guy. Al-Yorin died months ago.
Dead? Then who's ruling? His son, Vaughn. He struck me down and I woke up here. People were so angry, they were thinking of petitioning the king.
So I have to say that you probably, if you are an elf, a city elf, and you get to this point, you know, this will be quite in-depth for you. I think you'll have a different option to you. The king is dead as well, Logain rules in his place, for now.
There have been many changes since they caught me. I need to find out what happened. I need to get home, or flee the city. I thank you for your aid, stranger. I wish I had more than gratitude to offer.
That's fine.
Well, well. Bryce Cousland's little boy, all grown up, and still trying to fit into Daddy's armor. I never thought you'd be fool enough to turn up here. And then, I never thought you'd live, either.
After this, I'll kill your wife and daughter too.
Isn't that precious? Is this where I lament the monster I helped create? You're still so very new to this. Shall I show you how it's done? I made your mother kiss my feet as she died. It was the last thing your father saw. Meet my sword and try to change that.
I see enemy.
Right, now... That's not that, for God's sake, you're just healing him constantly. Not you. You. Both mages. Alright, sod it then. Sod it. Let's just all go over here and kill this. You guys, you run off somewhere, over there somewhere, and I will do that. Or not, you know, he could just...
Better than later.
No, you watch. I'm gonna reload it if they kill her. If they kill him, I really will.
Yeah.
Got him.
Make her spit on you. I deserved more.
Take his key, but you can have all the rest of it. Don't even want to take money from your corpse. See you later. It's dirty. Well, I think that worked out quite well, didn't you? The line about killing his wife and daughter, okay, that's mainly there. Because I think he would lose it in that instance. You know, this is the first time he's actually had a chance to avenge his family, and he's not going to do it. I don't think he has Royce has any intention of following through on that threat. But he says it just because he wants Howard to feel a little bit of what he felt. And then, because Howard's such a fucking, you know, monster and is just completely beyond redemption, it doesn't have any effect at all. And I think that the ugliness of that works really, really well.
Who's there? Stay away. You can't do this to me. I'll have you all flayed. I'm the Arl of Denerim.
Right, and I'm the King of Antiva.
I'm Vaughan Kendalls, heir to the Arling of Denerim. It's true. Too many of our troops were lost at Ostagar. When the riots started, Howe came with men to reinforce the garrison here. Or that's what he claimed. As soon as I let him into the palace, he threw me in here. One more victim of the Elven uprising, he said. Let me out of here. I'll do anything.
A Landsmeet has been called. I need your voice.
Of course. Anything. Just let me out.
Very well.
I swear you won't regret this.
Now, if you're a city elf, that's a big thing because
Make it have mercy
that guy
on your
is
faithful servant.
is a big
Grant me
antagonist to you.
place at your side. Grant Andraste, Bride of the Maker, have mercy on me. Alstana, is that you, little sister? No, I don't know you, do I? Are you real?
Who are you?
I'm Erminrig, Knight Lieutenant of the Denerim Chantry. You aren't one of the Tern's men? I failed in my duties, Maker. Forgive me. I failed, and there's no telling what he's done.
That's enough crazy for me. Goodbye. What are you talking about?
The Malefica. He had turned blood magic upon Templars and Circle Mages to escape from his tower. Near Redcliffe, I cornered him, but the Tern's men took him from me and brought me here.
This Maleficar, was his name Jowan?
Yes. He destroyed his phylactery. We were spread out, trying to find him. I was alone. You are real, aren't you? My dreams are so strange now. Please, if you're not a dream, help me.
You realise the door is open, right? You are free.
No one can free me from failure, save Blessed Andraste.
Alright. What do you want me to do?
Give this ring to my sister, Alstana. Tell her I'm sorry. Please. Ask her to pray for me.
Okay. I do like it with how everything pretty much interlocked in Dragon Age Origins. They put a lot of effort into that, and that it's not just called Dragon Age Origins because it's the origins of a lot of people, of your Warden. It's called Dragon Age Origins because the origins actually run throughout the entire game, no matter even if it's not your origin. But the reference is pretty cool.
Hey, you don't belong in here.
Holy shit! Listen to that. Slaughtered. This is what I mean. This party is deadly. I mean it. Like, they just took out. Like, I've struggled with that every single time when you come out. I've struggled, and they've just reamed through it like it's nothing. great stuff. There we go.
You're in a little over your head. Let's see what you made of. Right.
I'll get on it.
Too easy.
Run while you still can.
Help! We're under attack!
Seriously, I've just killed 90 of you. I think 2 years ago.
What the?
Oh, just a second. Guys, why are we standing in the door? This is what I mean. It's so... the AI sometimes is so boneheaded. Why are we in the doorway? Like, this is their disadvantage. Why are we taking part? Thank you. Right. Piss off. Right. Seriously, out the way. What are they doing? For God's sake, thank you. And there we are.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
All right, all right.
Thieves! Brigands in the house! God, help us!
Oops. I do believe we might have come the wrong way. I do believe. Yeah, down here.
I cannot be defeated.
Where the hell were you?
Make him afraid.
Got him.
My thanks.
Aren't you a little short for a guard?
Funny. Very funny. We must go quickly and avoid notice. If Howe's people find me, I'll be killed. And my people will insist on escorting me back to the palace, where my father may also have me killed.
It's a pretty crappy situation to find yourself in.
Shh. You'll draw attention to us.
Warden, in the name of the Regent, I am placing you under arrest for the murder of Rendon Howe and his men-at-arms. Surrender, and you may be shown mercy.
See that we've just mowed through the entire place. No, do you know what? She could have like armies out there. I don't think Royce would risk it. I'll stand down. You don't know the whole story.
We have killed so many other guards. What do a few more matter?
Are you sure this is what you wish?
Killing them just reinforces Loghain's lies about me.
I'm surprised this ended peacefully. Bring the Warden. Loghain doesn't care about the rest.
Eamon, we have a problem.
Oh, good. I was starting to worry this would be easy.
Calm down. What has happened?
The Warden has been captured.
What? How could this happen?
Never mind that. The question is how to free him.
I know where he is. The Grey Warden is in possession of a ring that allows me to locate him. Getting to him, however, is quite something else.
You look like you've been dragged through 10 kinds of crap, friend. What did you do?
I killed Rendon Howe.
Who calls that a crime? More like a public service. Still, they'll hang you for it.
Ah, my friends are coming for me.
You think so, do you?
Sten will come for me.
Just one person assaulting Fort Draken. Good luck with that.
So his dog will probably come too. Oh, Liliana will probably come too.
Sure. I'll just hold my breath, shall I?
Why does Sten disapprove? What the fuck? What? I don't understand that at all. Game, at least tell me why you've done that. I mean, it's so stupid. Ridiculous.
State your business.
Let Liliana bluff.
Making a delivery for the kennels, sir. Beef bones for the dogs.
I wasn't told about anything being shipped in today.
Well, could you ask someone? Pretty please?
Ah, fine. Wait over there. I'll get the captain.
Not to worry. I can handle the captain.
Let's just get this over with.
Aren't you having fun? This is so exciting. We're breaking into the most heavily guarded fortress in Ferelden.
Yeah, truly, my life has reached its apex.
All right, what's this about?
Making a delivery, Captain.
I wasn't notified about this.
It was a little spur of the moment, I'll admit. Cook at the royal palace had a lot of soup bones left over and wanted to send them to the dogs here.
Table scraps? Oh, Maker. Fine. Take them to the kennel.
Funny thing is, if you let Sten do that, he just gives the game away straight away. He's just like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. Just...
Did you hear that Tan Hao was murdered?
I think that's a new record, even for an Earl of Denerim. Didn't he only hold the title for 10 days?
I heard the Chantry was offering to pay anyone who'd come to the funeral. Not even his own kin will make the trip for it.
Wow.
This might be tricky.
Are we being subtle now? I couldn't tell.
All is well?
State your business.
You're the officer on duty, aren't you?
I am.
Is it difficult? I can't imagine being responsible for the lives of an entire fortress full of people.
What do you mean?
Everyone depending on you all the time? It doesn't keep you up at night? You don't think to yourself, what if I slip up? What happens then?
No.
And not just in the fort. The whole city of Denerim relies on you. Thousands of people.
I hadn't really thought of it that way.
I just can't imagine.
You know, Maker, I think I'm going to be sick.
She's good.
I'll do it.
He's really good.
I don't think we'll be able to talk our way past anyone back here. Yes, of course.
Intruders!
On my way.
You forced our hand! Die, would you?
Another victim. Question.
Anon ism
Oh, he did it quite well. Yeah, I would have let Royce go and take the fall, but at the end of the day, I think it's much better this way because you get to see all this cool interactions between people. Where are we going? Right. This way.
Die, mongrel!
You forced our hand! Right away.
Really should let Sten talk to that woman outside. Hello, I am an intruder. I'm here to rescue the Grey Warden. It's just...
As you like. On my way.
around here somewhere. Ah. Here it is.
The irony of this moment is not lost on me.
That was great. That was great. I love that. Considering,
Thank you kindly, friend. I think I won't be waiting around if you don't mind.
considering, like, that's how the Warden and him met. That was quite funny. I really like that. Alright, let's head out. Bear in mind, however, we're going to have to go through this hallway. Going to kill everyone. Or will we? No one seems to be around. Surely not.
Can I get you a
Oh, there you go.
get off my back? Right, all right.
And away we go. Good. See, I mean, I could have killed Guthrie in there, but I do feel like it works a lot better, like that way around.
Maker's breath. It's good to see you in one piece, my friend.
Indeed. We have been praying for your safe return, Warden.
It's good to see you're alright, Honora.
I was uncertain you would respond as you did, considering the consequences. I am glad you did. Thank you. Now, however, we must work together. And quickly. My father has gone mad. I didn't believe it at first, but he is gripped by a paranoia so severe it prevents him from seeing sense. He saw me as a threat, yet even now I'm certain he will be telling the nobles you are dangerous murderers that have kidnapped and mind-controlled me. He may even believe it.
Can he still take the throne without you?
Perhaps. It will be more difficult for him, but if my father says the Grey Wardens are the enemy, many will believe it. He is a legend.
It's true. Our position in the Landsmeet is not strong, and this does little to help us.
At least that snake Howe is dead. That alone will not be enough, however. My father is committed to his path. You will need ammunition for the Landsmeet, and there I can help. You have only just arrived in the city, so perhaps you are unaware of some recent events. Denerim has been in turmoil since Ostagar. Many people here are angry or grieving. Strangely, the unrest is worst in the alienage. Few elves accompanied the army. They should have little reason to be upset, which means that Howe and my father must have given them reason. I don't know what is happening there, but I am certain my father has his hands in it.
A useful lead, Honora, but you could have sent this information with your maid.
That is true. I feared for my safety as Howe's prisoner. But to tell the truth, I sent Elena to you because I hoped we might join forces. You need that evidence for the Landsmeet. But you also need a stronger candidate for the throne. You need me.
sounds more like you need us.
I have no doubt Alistair is biddable enough, and decent, but even with his blood, he is no king. You think only I can see it? Not only that, Alistair is a Grey Warden. It will look like you are trying to put a Grey Warden on the throne, despite your claims. I am a neutral party, and I am already queen.
Honora, you are indeed Kaelin's widow, but...
I am the daughter of Ferelden's greatest general. Who do you think truly ruled this nation for the last 5 years? Kaelin. I am what this country needs, not an untrained king who does not even want the throne. I can help you stop my father. Consider what I have said. For now, I think I will retire to my room. Warden, when you have a moment, I ask that you speak to me in private.
Well, she's quite spirited. I remember when Loghain first brought her to Denerim. Poor Kaelin was a good boy, but Honora was always 2 steps ahead. Had him jumping when she snapped since the first time she batted her eyelashes. I cannot help thinking she may be trouble, but we should keep her close, all the same.
Why do you think she's trouble?
This is an alliance of convenience. For the moment, we are united against Loghain. Be careful how much trust you place in her. I do not for a moment think Honora means to give up her power easily. Still, I would rather have her where we can watch her than actively working for Loghain.
And she's single now, right?
Are you thinking you might stand a chance at courtship? It would be unseemly for her to marry so soon after Kaelin's death. She wouldn't take that risk unless it helps her secure the throne.
I think she might be a better ruler than Alistair.
Honora was a capable administrator for Kaelin's lands, but she has not a drop of royal blood. We did not fight the Orlesians all those years just to lose our royal line in a single generation. Not when there's a surviving son of the blood.
Alistair doesn't know the first thing about being king, though.
No, I don't, which I've told both of you on many occasions. If Honora's turned against Loghain, I say let her keep the crown. It looks better on her anyway.
You're both wrong. With a few months of experience, Alistair will make a fine king. He knows how to lead troops to defend his land. He knows how to stand and fight for justice. He knows how to show compassion to those less fortunate, and how to trust to the Maker's guidance to know right from wrong. And he knows who to turn to for aid, should that training fail him. He will be fine.
Why is it so important that Mark's son be on the throne?
Ferelden was first united by Calenhad, the Silver Knight. For 400 years, his descendants have ruled Ferelden. That was the heritage we preserved from the Orlesians. And it is the heritage I will fight for as long as one of Calenhad's descendants still lives. Without that to unite us, we could scatter back to warring Turniers.
Maybe Alistair should marry Honora.
Are you serious? No, never mind. I don't even want to hear the rest of this. You two just keep talking about me. I'm going to stand over here with my fingers in my ears.
That would certainly solve a lot of problems, and put forth the strongest argument before the Landsmeet to remove Loghain from power. With Therin blood on the throne, and Honora's wisdom and popularity, Ferelden could present the most united front against the Blight. Unfortunately, the marriage would never happen unless they both agreed to it. And I suspect that might take a lot of persuading to get past her pride and his humility.
Let's talk about something else.
We certainly have a great deal to plan.
What do you think he's doing in the alienage?
Maker knows what that man is capable of now.
Alright, got work to do.
Of course, if I might make a suggestion, go speak with Honora. She will either be a powerful ally or a powerful enemy, and the sooner we know which she is, the better.
Alright.
I haven't been here in a while. They've changed the dining room. Something on your mind? Of course.
If you were raised in a chantry, have you never, you know,
Never what? Had a good pair of shoes?
Sex.
Oh, so that's what we're talking about. Well, if you really want to know, you tell me first.
Tell you what, of course I have.
And apparently you have no shame as well. Well, all right, I'll play along. I myself never had the pleasure. Not that I haven't thought about it, of course. But, you know.
You never had the opportunity?
Well, living in the Chantry is it's not exactly a life for rambunctious boys. They raised me to be a gentleman. That's not so bad, is it?
You tell me.
I've no urge to rush into anything. We may not even survive what is to come, after all. Enough. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Let's go.
All right. Shall we go and thank Stan for coming to my aid?
This is not as defensible as I would like, but it will do. What is your wish, Kadan?
No, I can't say anything to him.
As you wish.
That's fine. Dog is having a nice rest, which is good.
Hello again, Warden. It is good that you came to speak with me. First, let me say that I knew your family. Eleanor, in particular, was dear to me, and what Hal did was unforgivable. How fitting he died at your hands. I will be blunt. I can see that your voice will be a strong one in days to come. It is to you that Eamon listens, and with good reason. My father must be stopped, but once that is done, Ferelden will need a ruler. I would welcome your support for my throne.
I don't think I'm as important as you believe.
No? You're a Grey Warden, and despite the fact that my father will paint himself as the only one who can protect the country from the Blight, it is not so. Secondly, you saved Arl Eamon from a plot that no doubt had its origins in Hal's sick little mind. People will not forget that. You are competent and powerful, and in the right place at the right time. Used to your advantage, these things could bring you far.
You think you're a better candidate than Alistair?
Do you disagree? You are a fellow Grey Warden. What do you think of Alistair's potential to rule? Never mind his willingness.
Being a good ruler requires more than ambition.
Alistair seems like a kind, well-meaning man, and biddable enough. These are admirable qualities, if not kingly ones. He also seems to be a fine Grey Warden, which is exactly why he should remain one and serve the kingdom by defeating the Darkspawn.
And you would serve better as queen?
I have ruled this nation on Caelan's behalf for many years. I am a great queen, and as beloved by my people as I love them. Ferelden needs an effective ruler with experience to see it through the Blight and after. That is not Alistair. Thus, I say again, I would welcome your support for the throne if you would give it.
Why should I support you?
For years, I have ruled this kingdom as Caelan's queen. As much as they loved Caelan, all of the Banon knew this to be so. Caelan was a good man, but what is needed now is not another good man, but a good ruler. I sent Alina here not solely because I thought I needed help, but because I saw an opportunity. For us both. I need your support, Warden, and you will need mine.
Are you proposing an alliance?
That is exactly what I am proposing. When the time comes, you support my bid in the Landsmeet to remain on the throne. You will be seen as my father's enemy, yet you will be in support of his daughter. You will be seen as supporting the interests of Ferelden, as opposed to solely those of the Grey Wardens. In return, I add my voice to yours. Do you see? Together we can do what alone we cannot.
What happens to Loghain if you're queen?
He is my father, as well as a great general, who has served his nation well until now. If there is a way for him to live, I would prefer it.
Justice must be done, don't you think?
I will always be my father's daughter, but even I know he must pay for his crimes. It will not make me glad, even so. Does that affect your decision? Can we yet come to an arrangement?
Why not just marry Alistair? That'd be the best of both worlds, wouldn't it?
Ignoring that the man looks so much like Cailan, my recently dead husband, if you'll recall, my main fear is that he might govern like Cailan as well. But it is true that Alistair has Theron blood. To some, this is more important even than practical considerations. A union might be considered a compromise, but is this something Alistair even desires?
No, that's true. True, forget I said anything then.
Consider it forgotten. Now, as for the alliance we were discussing.
I think we'd need more than just your support.
Once I am queen, I will be in a position to grant you whatever you wish. And I shall. This is in addition to Highever being properly restored to you. That should go without saying, I trust. Alistair might promise you the same, I suppose. But I would ask which is better. The gratitude of a weak king, or of a strong queen. And even if it is not for you, think of what I could do for the Grey Wardens. Think of what I could do for your companions. I trust I have made my point.
What if you had a strong king beside you?
Tempting. You are of Cousland blood, it's true. Despite the fact that you are also a Grey Warden, it would be unprecedented, but a man like you could make a fine prince and consort. Is this what you are actually proposing? My hand for your support?
Very well. Marry me and you have my support.
Very well. It is too good an opportunity to pass up. Once I am coronated, I will take your hand as my consort. So, we have a deal, Warden. I trust you'll keep your end of the bargain. Now, I suppose, comes the task of dealing with my father. That will be no small feat, of course, but I am certain you already know this. I imagine you have much to do. Is there anything else you needed from me?
Do you need anything?
No. And while I know your concern is hardly disinterested, still, thank you.
I think it's the only time you can get to ask us some questions,
return.
so...
Is there something you wish to discuss? Ask me whatever you like.
Does it make you uncomfortable siding against your father?
Of course it does. Do you think me heartless? But how much worse would I be to calmly stay at the side of a man who murdered my husband?
Did you love him?
It seems a strange word to describe a marriage our parents arranged when he was newly born and I still in swaddling clothes, but yes, I loved him. He was reckless, impetuous, and charming. Had he not been king, he would have made a dashing rogue for a band of players. We were a good pairing. He would not have wanted the burden of ruling any more than I would have liked to remain the silent wife in my husband's shadow.
Why did Loghain leave Cailan to die, do you know?
Cailan was so idealistic. The world was his storybook, and he was the hero. My father is different. He's an idealist too, but he knows what idealism costs. They often clashed, but never seriously, never for long. Cailan would always come round to Father's way of thinking eventually. And then the Blight came. Cailan dreamed of uniting all the nations of Thedas against the Darkspawn. It was a dream he wouldn't surrender. What my father saw, however, was the boy he had swaddled inviting Orlesian troops back into the land he had fought to free of them. And for once, my poor, foolish husband wouldn't back down.
We should tell people what really happened to Cailan.
They would not believe it, most of them, even from my lips. Loghain is the hero they've looked up to their whole lives. Far easier to believe you or me a liar than him a murderer and tyrant. That's why it will be critical to find some way to discredit him before the Landsmeet. We must have proof of my father's crimes for the bands, or they will never believe us.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss.
It was more than just my own loss. But I thank you all the same. Ask me whatever you like.
What do you think will happen after the Landsmeet?
Do you want me to try my luck at fortune-telling? There was an old woman who read palms in the village of Warden when I was a child. She told me that I would have 10 children and be bald as a winter heath when I grew up. I can't say I put much faith in foretelling. What will happen depends much on you, Warden. But you certainly knew that already.
I'd like to understand Loghain better if possible.
Ah, well, he was once a farmer when he was a boy, if you can believe it. I never could myself. He's useless with plants, for one thing. I remember my mother once asking his help with a sick rose vine. My mother oversaw the rose gardens personally. He touched it. No more than that. And it shed half its leaves like a dog with mange. She never asked for him to help with her roses again. He bought her another one, though. He carried it back from Denerim with the branches overflowing his saddlebag. Despite the thorns tearing him bloody, he wouldn't let anyone else take it. He wanted to be the one to present it to her. My father has his faults, Warden, but he is far from common.
Why doesn't Loghain just back down?
Because he believes he is right, Warden. He thinks he is the only one who can see Ferelden out of its current crisis, even if it is one he helped engineer. My father is capable of remarkable blindness, but it stems from his love of Ferelden. That is the saddest part of all, I think.
Is he truly beyond reason?
I hope not, but I fear it is so, yes.
Why would he ever have trusted Al Howe?
Trust would perhaps be putting it too strongly. My father knew what Howe was, and while I despised the man, I knew that father relied on his political mind. I expect my father thought himself above being influenced by the snake. Truly, I wonder how many of these acts stemmed from Howe and not my father at all. We may never know.
Did he plan on overthrowing Caelan before Ostagar?
I'm not sure. I had no inkling of my father's plans until Caelan was already dead. I would like to think that my father planned for the worst, but did not truly decide that Caelan was a lost cause until that moment in Ostagar. The alternative is difficult to imagine. Ask me whatever you like. Then I wish you luck, Warden.
That was interesting. But yeah, the reason why I've decided to do that is simply because I think Royce is getting a sense of his place in the world now and his duty. He wants the best for the Grey Wardens, he wants the best for the people who he's fighting for, and if Alistair won't do it because he doesn't want to, then Royce will, sort of a thing. You know, he's doing what a leader should do, and that's like, and to be fair, I mean, she, yeah, looking at her, she's not exactly, it's not like the worst thing in the world to marry someone like that, is it? I mean, he's definitely got feelings for Leliana and Morrigan, both of them, but at the end of the day, you know, end of the day, I've never really had a romance in this game where I'm like, oh yeah, the Warden definitely ends up with that person, blah blah, and he's totally in love with them. It doesn't really work that way. I think the female ones do work that way, like with Alistair, when you're female and you're romancing him, it's a very intense, it's very like, you know, love comes into it very quickly. Whereas with the male Warden, it seems to be, you know, it can go lovey-dovey, but it seems to be most of the time, you know, like, you just like each other, and you get along, and, you know, you're seeing each other, but it's nothing more serious than that. It can do, don't get me wrong, but most of the time it doesn't.
Yes.
Indeed. Indeed.
As you can see, I mean, I've exhausted all of my options of dialogue in this, and I'm still not at the point where, you know, where, what was I going to say? I'm still not at the point where, you know, all the lovey-dovey stuff has happened. Even with Leliana, and Leliana you would think would happen really quickly. It does happen, but yeah, it tends to be very temperamental.
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts. Wrecked for more
Did you hear? Androste's ashes have been found. Here in Ferelden, too.
I think we're supposed to be going around this. Aha, yeah, I did.
Oh, cow. Everyone knows Androste came from Ferelden. It makes sense.
Have you heard the news about Howe? Everyone in the city has. Ryland must be pleased. That half-blood is as cold as the mountains. Did they not serve together in the war? Oh, I can hardly speak ill of the sense or conscience of any man simply for wishing Rendon Howe dead. You've met him. Man made vipers see him.
How fares your brother?
I'd hoped to see him while I was in town. May I help you?
I was asked to give this to you.
This is Ermenric's. Explain yourself. My brother would no more part with this ring than with his head.
You might ask Loghain.
Loghain? What does my brother have to do with him?
He was captured whilst chasing Maleficar. He's in a dungeon of the Earl of Denerim's estate.
A dungeon? What? No. I will go to him at once. Someone will answer for this. You're Bryce Cousland's youngest, are you not? I thought I recognized you. Take this. It's been in my family for generations. Let it be a sign of the friendship between High Ever and Waking Sea. Let me know if you want some of my bowmen when you take back your Tairneer as well.
No, wouldn't mind that.
You'll have to excuse me. I'm engaged at present.
Aren't you Bryce and Eleanor Cousland's youngest? Maker's breath, I thought... Well, it's good to see you're all right.
Wonderful. Another one. I suppose you're here to ask for a donation too. You're the youngest Cousland, aren't you? Probably looking for coin or men to take your Tairneer back then. You're better off asking the Darkspawn. They hold West Hills now.
I didn't know West Hills had fallen, I'm sorry.
Well, I can see how you might miss it. All of southern Ferelden covered by black clouds, the ground rotting beneath your feet, plagues and Darkspawn raids going on until even the crows get sick of the smell of carrion. What's a little trifle like that when compared to the important troubles here in Denerim? There's no point talking about it. Leave me. I've nothing for you anyway.
Fair enough.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off?
Very important that we did that, to be honest with you. Don't believe the lies. Friends of the Grey Wardens assemble. The hidden pearl holds the key to resistance. The griffins will rise again. Oh, nice. Must be the pearl. I wonder if there's a room in the pearl where you just can't get into because they ask you for a password beyond the door. I wonder if that's what that is. I'm going to try that. Alright. And again, if you're an elf, this is a good place to, you're coming back home if you're a city elf.
These elves allow themselves to be herded together in this filth. Why, exactly?
Stay out of our alienage ship.
Someone's coming. Thanks for running those thugs off. I thought they were gonna kill me.
What are you doing here?
I was on my way home. Look, I'm leaving and you should do the same. The knife ears are all riled up.
How do you even know they're working magic? They could just be chanting. I've got children at home. I can't wait out here for another day.
So go home.
The best thing you can do for your children is not trust these charlatans.
Everyone remain calm. We will help as many as we can today, so long as we can do this in an orderly fashion.
Oh, you're helping us, are you, Shem? Like Valendrian and my Uncle Syrian, you helped them, didn't you? Helped them never to be seen again.
We've explained this to you before, girl. More whining will not persuade us to let you into the quarantine to carry plague back out to the alienage.
Quit trying to get us all killed, Shiani. Some of us have still got things to live for.
If this spell of theirs works, why are half the people they quarantine perfectly healthy?
What's going on?
What's wrong, Shem? Did you get bored and decide to come watch the elves die of plague? Wait. Sora's told me about you. You're the one who freed him from the dungeons. These foreigners say they're here to help with our outbreak of plague. Funny thing, though. All the people they help disappear.
That's not true, and you know it, Shiani. Both my sisters got the Tevinter spell cast on them, and they're fine.
Where's your niece, then? And my Uncle Syrian? And Valendrian?
Where'd this plague come from?
From the Blight. That's what they say, anyway. People started getting it after the refugees showed up from Ostagar, so I guess that makes sense. These men from Tevinter say their magic will prevent people from catching it. But it doesn't work if you're already ill. So they set up a quarantine. But many of the ones they quarantine aren't sick. One of them was our Hiren, Valendrian. And I don't know what we're going to do if we don't get him back.
I think I'll go and have a look inside the hospice.
They won't just let you in.
I wasn't going to ask.
Well, just be careful. Those men are mages.
So?
Hold. This place is full of plague victims. No one enters.
Get out of my way or I'll go through you.
To arms! Protect the hospice!
I see enemy.
Murder this shit. I think Tevinter in this game are a big missed opportunity, unfortunately. You know, there's supposed to be a pseudo-Roman, you're supposed to have legions, you're supposed to have all sorts going on. I haven't got any of that. They just look like normal people. They have swords, that's all they have. Yeah, it really is a shame that they're not... No, there we go.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
So in Dragon Age Inquisition, there's a thing called the Venatori, which I think is pretty cool. That's cool. That's good to know. And they look like they're pretty otherworldly. I think what's good about cultures like this is that they look different. They're supposed to look weird, you know. Like the Canori, they all look very weird. They have their own culture, their own stuff.
Help us, please! We're not sick! Let us out of here!
Yeah, I know.
Thank you, friend.
Where's Valendrian?
They took him away already. Through the back alley. We don't know where exactly.
Okay.
You don't have to say that twice.
Okay, okay. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that they did. But I think that might have been due to like either budget or time. One of the two. Or maybe a bit of both, really. But,
Got it.
But yeah, it's a shame that the Tevinter fell by the wayside a little bit. Although they are only in like 2% of the game, essentially.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Got it.
Okay.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
All right, all right.
What's this? Another shipment already? We weren't... Wait. You're no Tevinter. Who are you supposed to be?
Who are you supposed to be?
Quick, get them, hurry!
What is the meaning of this? We were told that there would be no interference from the authorities.
Not with the authorities.
Oh? An errant group of do-gooders, then? You will regret this, you know. Believe it or not, we've been given dispensation to do our business here. You Fereldans talk a great deal about how very wrong slavery is. But isn't it funny how quickly the smell of gold overcomes such ideals?
You're an elf. How can you be part of this?
So I should feel kinship for these sheep? Don't be a fool. I am Tevinter first and a servant of the Minrathu Circle second. Those are the things that matter.
You can't just take people from their homes and sell them. It's despicable.
But enough. I am here to halt your slaughter, nothing more.
And step aside or be my next victim.
I am no fool. I can see that you are capable. So be it. I will let Caladrius deal with you while I fetch the Regent's men. I suggest you leave while you still can.
Oops.
Now's better than later.
I am Caladius, and you, I assume, must be the Grey Warden I've heard so much about.
Get to the point. What do you want?
What I want is for my business here to be concluded smoothly. If that requires that you and I come to some terms, then so be it.
Just how do you know who I am?
One can hardly get a word out of the Regent besides Warden these days. It's surpassed even gold in popularity.
What exactly have you heard?
I've heard that you're trying to erode Logain's support. It must be a difficult task, yes, like washing away a mountain. Perhaps you could use some help.
How can you help exactly?
Truth be told, there was always a limit to how long we were going to be able to operate here. We've paid for many of Logain's troops, but once the Landsmeet is done, we become inconvenient. So, here is my offer. 100 sovereigns from you for a letter with the seal of the Terran of Warden upon it, implicating him in all of this. Then, we leave a few days earlier than planned, with our profits and remaining slaves unharmed.
'Tis a reasonable enough starting offer.
So, do we have a deal? Even you must admit it's much better than resorting to barbarism, yes?
100 gold? What are you on about? I have a counter-offer.
Interesting.
Leave everything. Get out of here with your hides.
Now, that's not much of a deal, is it? Let's do this the hard way, then. Men, shall we?
No, you're gonna die. Obviously.
Seems your reputation is an accurate one. I surrender.
Perhaps you should be left to the mercies of these elves.
No, wait! Hear me out, kind sir. Were I to use the life force of the remaining slaves here, I could augment your physical health a great deal. Allow me to leave this place alive, and I would be more than happy to do this little service for you.
An interesting offer, if a tad messy.
So, is my offer of interest to you, yes?
No.
Then, I don't suppose you would consider just letting me go?
No.
Ah. Well, that is a shame, isn't it?
No.
don't look like a Tevinter. Not that it means much. Are you one of them? What happens to us now?
You Valendrian? Shiani was looking for you.
Shiani? Did she send you here? Praise the Maker! We will not trespass long on your good graces. Come, everyone. Let's go home.
Haha. All the stuff we need. That's how he's playing for all of his troops, which is not going to go down very well. But the thing is with the Landsmeet is that even you can say things that you feel you have every right to say. That makes sense to win people over, and they don't work. You've got to say things in a very specific, clever way to actually get everyone to be alright with you. I'm not going to do his quest because it's a bit silly. That's right at the end of the game.
I'm sorry if I was rude to you before. Andraste's ass, you'd think I'd learned some social graces. Anyway, what I mean by all this is... thank you.
Okay, just one sec. Sorry about that. When we're going for so long, sometimes I need to just nip away for a sec. Can I give that to her again? I wonder if I can. Where are you? I just picked you up. I just picked it up. Oh, there we go.
Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I heard about you and the Queen. Do you love her?
No, I love you. I mean, like, he's not said that before, but I want to see where this goes. 'Cause I did just say before, none of lovey-dovey stuff happens. Let's see what this does.
Not nearly enough, it seems.
Doesn't have to change anything between us.
It changes everything. I respect her too much as a queen and as a woman to let what we have destroy us all. If you are to marry her and be wholly hers.
What if she says anything else?
I know that look. You have something on your mind, don't you?
Nope. Oh wait.
Of course.
Never mind. What would happen if you don't say anything to her? Nah, it doesn't make any sense not to. Alright. I think the second thing he would have said is that it's the best thing for Ferelden, because that's how he does feel. But like, yeah, if Honora's not going to be like his proper wife, then he doesn't see any reason why he can't carry on with Liliana. But if he's just going to be a consort and going around the place anyway, with the armies and stuff. Hey, his hair's back. Hurrah.
Hello again, friend. It looks as though you're no worse for wear after your stay in Fort Draken.
Did you know Duncan very well?
We went through our joining together, more years ago than I like to remember. He was exactly the same back then, tough as stone and just as grizzled. I think he understood sooner than the rest of us how ugly a choice it is to let the few be sacrificed to protect the many. Always left himself a soft spot for his recruits, though. Only where he ever let himself down.
I was hoping to learn a bit more about the Grey Wardens.
Well, I'd be happy to tell you what I know, but it seems to me that you've picked the important parts up yourself. Be firm in your beliefs, protect people from their own ignorance, and be as loyal as you can to your brothers, even knowing you'll share their deaths.
How many Wardens are there?
It's tough to say. Only the fortress in Weishaupt has every record. But there are certainly a few dozen or hundreds in every nation in Thedas. The Anderfells are home to over 1,000. It's almost like the Archdemon chose Ferelden deliberately, knowing how unguarded it is.
Have you ever been to the fortress in Weishaupt?
Once only, and I'd rather not go again. It's far, lad. And very foreign. The Wardens there, they fight Darkspawn like you and me, but they're shaped by the winters there in the forest. They're a cold group and don't care like they should about the rest of the world. Their king is weak, and many Anders look to the Wardens to rule. I hate to say this, but some of them seem to want it that way.
How were the Wardens founded?
It was near 1,200 years ago, and no one knows for sure, except that it began with a group of Anders soldiers. Apparently, they defected from their king's army, vowing that fighting the Blight was more important, and traveled all the way to Tevinter themselves. They were the first ones to track down the Archdemon Dumat, and the ones to slay him, though none survived the battle. But they had picked up followers by then, and it was they who formally founded the Order, and were recognized by Thedas.
Why has it been so long since the last Blight?
Archdemons don't awaken on their own, you know. It takes the Darkspawn, tunneling and tunneling, searching for centuries to find one. And with no one to lead them, it must be sheer chance, or maybe instinct, which leads them. What's surprising isn't that it takes so long between Blights. What's surprising is that they succeed at all. But I imagine the old gods call to them, and it's that voice in the darkness which drives them through so many generations. The important thing to remember is, none of that matters. When you're facing Darkspawn, all you need to know is to stop them at all costs.
Yeah, I quite like Raiden's explanations. I would love to go to Weishaupt in some of the Dragon Age games later on. That'd be really cool. And I love how the camera goes inside the cage, like you're from the Archdemon's point of view as he's talking. It's quite cool.
Ah, there you are. I was about to send out a search party. I've been hearing of a great commotion in the alienage. What exactly happened there?
I found proof the game was involved in slave trading.
Make her forgive me. I should be appalled that such a thing could exist here. But I'm overjoyed you can implicate Loghain. We must end the civil war quickly. What the Blight does not corrupt in this land, politics surely will. The last of our allies have arrived in the city. We cannot delay any longer. I will call for the Landsmeet to convene. Bring Alistair and join me at the palace as soon as you are ready, Warden.
So I'm guessing someone told Honora I was planning to steal her throne. She has a nasty glare. Did anyone mention this wasn't my idea? I think she's a great queen. As far as I'm concerned, she's welcome to it.
Good. I've agreed to support her in the Landsmeet.
You have? I'm relieved, actually. The Landsmeet may not listen to you, and Al Eamon would go right back into a coma if you told him. But me? I'm relieved. I guess all we need to do is stop her father from taking the throne first, right?
He can't rule if he's dead.
I heard that.
But also, it's a shame that we're not going off with Liliana now.
If one more I await your command.
Right, so I think that's it. I think we've done everything there is to do.
Is it true? Erlina tells me that Al Eamon has gone ahead to call the Landsmeet.
Are you worried?
With my future betrothed at my side. How could I worry? You should hurry. Father won't waste time wresting the proceedings from Eamon. He will need you. I'll meet you there. Mika, watch over us all.
Alright. We've got to go with Alistair.
Yes.
I will go with Sten and... You know what? Liliana,
Indeed.
screw it. Normally, if I'm going to put Alistair on the throne, I will have him wearing the Kaelin stuff. But since, you know, he's not going to be on the throne, I think it's better if he just wear Grey Warden stuff so people know who he is. And again, he doesn't have a hardened personality, which you can do if you tell him that, you know, everyone's out for themselves when he meets his sister. You can there and then you can have him get a hardened personality. Then he doesn't mind being king. But like in this, he really doesn't want to be king. But even when he's hardened, he doesn't really want to be king either. I think he does become a decent king, but like not a great one, you know. I think Honora is the best choice overall.
Warden, I am not surprised it has come to this. And Alistair, if you were even remotely worthy of being called Marik's son, you would already be in the Landsmeet, now wouldn't you? You have torn Ferelden apart to oppose the very man who ensured you were born into freedom. But do not think you will get past me to desecrate the Landsmeet itself. The nobles of Ferelden will confirm my lord as regent, and we can finally put this to rest once you are gone.
Turn aside, serve your queen, and save Marik's throne.
You say that with such righteousness. Loghain used to have that ring in his voice. He has not sounded that way in many months now. It is not so clear an enemy when it is your own people you fight.
His own people were the ones imprisoned and tortured.
You think war is simple, don't you, Warden? You only fight monsters. No one sheds a tear over the death of an ogre. Torture is an ugly business. But sometimes it's the only way to learn what your enemy intends. And it is much harder to tell who the enemy is when all of them look like you.
To support his war, he sold his own people into slavery.
What was he supposed to do? You and Eamon were harassing him at every side, forcing him to empty the treasury to fight you. He never wanted a civil war. After Kaelin died, everyone was supposed to rally, come together to fight the Darkspawn without crying to Orlais for aid. He never anticipated Merrick's bastard would challenge the throne and force this war.
How do you justify letting Arl torture his subjects?
You think war is simple, don't you, Warden? You only fight monsters.
Oh, okay.
And it is much harder to tell who the enemy is when all of them look like you.
How can you support the man who killed your king?
Kaelin was a fool. He grew up a spoiled child in his ancestors' palace. He never knew what it was to be hunted, to starve. Maybe the Grey Wardens killed him, or maybe my lord let him die of his own foolishness. Either way, it may have saved Ferelden.
So now you admit Loghain may have killed him?
Fine, you're right. What would you have me say, Warden? Loghain is a great man, but his hatred of Orlais has driven him to madness. He has done terrible things. I know it. But I owe him everything. I cannot betray him. Do not ask me to.
Put down your weapons and let me pass.
I will not stop you, Warden. Please, show mercy. Without Loghain, there would be no Ferelden to defend.
I'll take that in mind. You can get a really cool sword from her called the Summer Sword. But, yeah. We don't really need it, we got Starfang. How much cunning do we need?
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
My lords and ladies of the Landsmeet, Tyrn Loghain would have us give up our freedoms, our traditions, out of fear. He placed us on this path, yet we should place our destiny in his hands? Must we sacrifice everything good about our nation to save it? A fine performance, Aemon. But no one here is taken in by it. You would attempt to put a puppet on the throne, and every soul here knows it. The better question is who will pull the strings. Ah! Here we have the puppeteer. Tell us, Warden, how will the Orlesians take our nation from us? Will they deign to send their troops, or simply issue their commands through this would-be prince? What do they offer you? How much is the price of Ferelden honor now?
The Blight is a threat here, not Orlais.
There are enough refugees in Mybanor now to make that abundantly clear.
The South has fallen, Loghain. Will you let Darkspawn take the whole country for fear of Orlais?
The Blight is indeed real, Wolf. But do we need Grey Wardens to fight it? They claim that they alone can end the Blight. Yet they failed spectacularly against the Darkspawn at Ostagar. And they asked to bring with them 4 legions of Chevaliers. And once we open our borders to the Chevaliers, can we really expect them to simply return from whence they came?
Be very careful here, because not the first one. You sold Ferelden citizens into slavery to fund your war. You allowed Royden how to imprison and torture innocents. Yeah, forget how, because you'll just blame it on how, so... You sold Ferelden citizens into slavery to fund your war.
What's this? There is no slavery in Ferelden! Explain yourself! There is no saving the alienage. Damage from the riots has yet to be repaired. There are bodies still rotting in their homes. It is not a place I would send my worst enemy. There is no chance of holding it if the Blight comes here. Despite what you may think, Warden, I have done my duty. Whatever my regrets may be for the elves, I have done what was needed for the good of Ferelden.
Yeah, now, thing is, this is how you got to be very careful. You got to read the room, okay? So, all of these, as I said before, all of these are very, very well and good. Yeah, all of them. You would think all of them would lead to you getting the upper hand. You know, why would you try and steal the throne from your own daughter? Doesn't work. I don't think it does anyway. Then you should be supporting Marik's son. Yeah. I mean, abandoning Caelan was the great good. No one cares about Caelan in this. Okay. That's the one thing you gotta remember. No one cares that he abandoned Caelan. It happened too long ago. It's not fresh in the mind anymore, which is very strange. But you know, and no one really cares about what Hal did because Hal's not the issue here. You know what this guy's underlings do isn't really important. So I'm going to read the room. You know, the Chantry is here. They will not like the fact that an apostate was sent to poison Eamon, and everyone's very devout in this city. So. Well, sending an apostate to poison Eamon your duty as well?
I assure you, Warden, if I were going to send someone, it would be my own soldiers. I would not trust to the discretion of an apostate.
Indeed, my brother tells a very different tale. He says you snatched a blood mage from the Chantry's justice. Coincidence?
Do not think the Chantry will overlook this, Terran Loghain. Interference in a Templar's sacred duties is an offense against the Maker.
Whatever I have done, I will answer for later. At the moment, however, I wish to know what this Warden has done with my daughter.
What have I done? I protected her from you.
You took my daughter, our queen, by force, killing her guards in the process. What arts have you employed to keep her? Does she even still live?
I believe I can speak for myself. Lords and ladies of Ferelden, hear me. My father is no longer the man you know. This man is not the hero of Riverdane. This man turned his troops aside and refused to protect your king as he fought bravely against the Darkspawn. This man seized Caelan's throne before his body was cold and locked me away so I could not reveal his treachery. I would have already been killed, if not for this Grey Warden.
The Queen speaks the truth.
So, the Warden's influence has poisoned even your mind, Enora. I wanted to protect you from this. My lords and ladies! Our land has been threatened before! It's been invaded and lost and won times beyond counting. We Fereldans have proven that we will never truly be conquered so long as we are united. We must not let ourselves be divided now. Stand with me, and we shall defeat even the Blight itself!
The Warden! I'm with the Warden. Southreach stands with the Grey Wardens.
Waking Sea stands with the Grey Warden.
Dragon's Peak supports the Warden! The Western Hills throw their lot in with the Wardens. Make her help us.
I stand by Loghain. We've no hope of victory otherwise.
I stand with the Warden. The Blight is coming. We need the Grey Wardens.
Ha! You lose.
Traitors! Which of you stood against the Orlesian Emperor when his troops flattened your fields and raped your wives? You fought with us once, Eamon. You cared about this land once, before you got too old and fat and content to even see what you risk. None of you deserve a say in what happens here. None of you have spilled blood for this land the way I have. How dare you judge me?
Call off your men and we'll settle this honorably.
Then, let us end this. I suppose we both knew it would come to this. When we first met at Ostagar, I would never have thought so, but Ostagar seems like it happened in another lifetime to someone else. A man is made by the quality of his enemies. Marek told me that once. I wonder if it's more a compliment to you or me. Enough! Let the Landsmeet declare the terms of the duel.
It shall be fought according to tradition. A test of arms, in single combat until one party yields. And we, who are assembled, will abide by the outcome.
Will you face me yourself, or have you a champion?
I'll do it myself, thank you.
It is you or me the men will follow. So, let us fight for it. Prepare yourself.
I think no matter what happens, you've always got to fight him, unfortunately.
Now it's better than later.
I underestimated you, Warden. I thought you were like Kalen, a child wanting to play at war. I was wrong. There's a strength in you that I have not seen anywhere since Marek died. I yield.
I accept your surrender.
I didn't just hear you say that. You're going to let him live? After everything he's done? Kill him already!
Wait, there is another option. Patean is a warrior and general of renown. Let him be of use. Let him go through the joining.
Would that even work? He's not exactly loyal to us.
What does loyalty matter? We are what we are. The joining binds us to the Darkspawn. You know this. If you were to forswear your oath and flee today, you'd find yourself in the deep roads, or the blight lands given time. You'd seek them out, or they'd seek you.
The joining itself is often fatal, is it not? If he survives, you gain a general. If not, you have your revenge. Doesn't that satisfy you?
Absolutely not! Riordan, this man abandoned our brothers and then blamed us for the deed. He hunted us down like animals. He tortured you! How can we simply forget that?
So, you know, two things in this one. First is that, you know, Royce has got his revenge against Alhau. Yeah, Alhau used Loghain, I think, to get the to get the assurance that if he did what he did, he would get what he wanted. You know, he wouldn't get punished. One sec. Whereas, like, for me, even though Royce does want revenge against Loghain, he's sort of like, well, since speaking to Honora and stuff, he has come around a little bit, and he does sort of understand why he's done it, why he's done what he's done. And, at the end of the day, he's leader of the Grey Wardens at this point, or at least the unofficial leader of the Grey Wardens at this point in Ferelden. So he needs more men, you know, and he needs to defeat the Blight. What Alistair is forgetting in this is ironically, because Alistair's been talking to you about duty and stuff, and like he's not leaving Ferelden because he's going to save it from the Blight, and the Blight's more important, blah 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 blah. When it comes down to it, Alistair's being very, very selfish. He's being an ass, Yeah? What's best for the Grey Wardens, what's best to get to fight the Blight is to have Logain go through the joining. And that's what I'm going to do. Reed, and that's the point. We should put him through the joining.
Joining the Wardens is an honor, not a punishment. Name him a Warden and you cheapen us all. I will not stand next to him as a brother. I won't!
Not all of us can have spotless honor, you know.
Some things can't be undone or forgiven. This goes way beyond having spotless honor. We aren't talking about a minor hiccup in his past. I didn't want to be king. I still don't. But if that's what it takes to see Logain get justice, then I'll do it. I'll take the crown.
Listen to this. Can you see how disastrous a king he'd be? Putting his own selfish desires above the needs of his country? You can't seriously support him.
Well, you'll be queen and I'll rule beside you. Yeah, that sort of a thing.
My husband, the king consort, the general of my armies, and the hero who will save Ferelden from this blight.
You're siding with her? How could you do this to me? You, of all people.
What are you talking about? This is what I mean. Like, what is he talking? He didn't want it. Do you know, he didn't want it. He wanted nothing to do with it. Yeah, exactly. I thought you hated the idea of being king.
What's wrong with you? He's repeatedly tried to kill us both, and you side with him over me?
Alistair, don't be hysterical.
I'm not. I'm perfectly lucid. I will not stand beside Logain, and neither should you. I guess I don't have any choice, do I? I'm leaving.
I'm afraid it's not so simple as that, Alistair.
You already got what you wanted. Your murdering father gets a place amongst the Grey Wardens. What else could you want from me?
Your life, unfortunately. So long as you live, rebellions can be raised in your name. Our land cannot endure another civil war. I must call for your execution.
I can't say it's about time. No, you owe me a boon. Let him go.
This is what you would ask? Very well. Though I think it a mistake. Alistair, you may leave on condition that you swear before this Landsmeet that you renounce all claim to the throne for yourself and all your heirs.
That's what it'll take, huh? Fine. I don't want anything to do with this place or any of you people. Ever. I swear it. Time for me to go.
You can come back if you change your mind.
Have fun ending the blight. Or whatever. I guess you made your decision, right? So goodbye.
And now, lords and ladies of Ferelden, there is still a blight to defeat, and armies to gather. And I appoint this man to lead us in both. We will not allow this land be further threatened by the Archdemon. Gather your forces and await the King Consort's command. On the morrow, we shall begin our struggle against the greatest threat Ferelden has ever faced. And we shall triumph over it, for we are Ferelden.
You are called upon to submit yourself to the Taint for the greater good. From this moment forth, you are a Grey Warden.
I understand.
So it's done. My father lives, and for good or ill, he is now a Grey Warden. Thank you for giving him the opportunity to undergo the ritual. It couldn't have been easy.
He has a lot to redeem himself for.
He does indeed. You kept your end of the deal. I will keep mine. The engagement will be announced at my coronation, provided you are still interested.
Trying to get out of it already.
Not at all. I simply wish to ensure your ambitions haven't changed. Arl Eamon has left for Redcliffe, and tells me that our armies have almost fully gathered there. I will be heading there myself. Bring your companions, and join us at Redcliffe Castle as soon as you are able. You have united for Eldon, Warden. Now we face the Blight.
And there we go. So we've only got a tiny little bit of, well, I say tiny little bit, it's not really, quite a big bit. But we've got a little bit to go until the end of the game. Now, yeah, I feel like you should go over the reasons for that again, you know. I honestly, looking at how can anyone look at what Alistair does there and still like his character? I never got it. I just thought, well, right up, I never knew that existed until like a few months ago, when I went through this game again over Christmas, and yeah, that was the first time I saw it, and I was shocked. I was shocked by just how abrupt and how stupid he is about it. You know, he's extremely childish about it, and in fact, yeah, it's probably is what he's like. You know, he is very much like that in the game as well. You know, he's very impulsive, very childish at times. But that was overly, you know, that to me was his moment of, like, you know, the character coming full circle and putting the needs of others first for a change, and he failed completely. And other people may see that as harsh. I don't. Like, I think his entire arc's been leading up to that point where he says, yeah, okay, and he backs you up and says, yeah, maybe he should join Grey Wardens. Yeah, maybe I should just get over myself, my pride. You know, and by the way, we're not the ranking Wardens there, Riordan is. He's the eldest. So that really should have, if he invokes the right of conscription, which is basically what he did. You know, he said, you know, he should join the Grey Wardens, blah, blah. That's it. You know, we shouldn't really say anything. So I do think Royce has really come into his own by the stage. You know, he's gone from being like an petulant, impulsive. He's gone from being Alistair, but brought up in a nice family. You know, and a bit more boisterous and a lot better in combat. He's gone from being that to being like the leader of Ferelden, essentially, and he's earned that, and he's put other people first. Even in this, you know, obviously, as you said before, he actually loves Liliana. I mean, that's great. I mean, that's amazing that he feels that way, but he's willing to put that aside and say, hey, you know, this is what's right for the country, this is what's right for my family, this is what's right for the Wardens, you know, and he's put all that first. I mean, I think that's amazing. I think that's I used to think that the best ending, at least for me, what I used to do was that I used to let Alistair marry Honora, and then that was it. You know, they would rule together. I would harden Alistair to make sure he was a good king, and then that was it. You know, and my Warden would like ride off into the sunset afterwards, and would like carry on being Grey Warden, sort of thing. And whilst that does fit quite well, it fits a little too well for me. You know, it's almost like this is the stock good ending. You know, you should get, if you're a male Warden, you should do this ending. But like for me, it acts quite well. I like having a bit of conflict with my characters, and seeing this part of Alistair does make me think, you know, it probably is the right choice not having him on the throne at all, to be honest with you. Because again, I was shocked when it first came to it, where he first had that stupid reaction, and you explain, for once, BioWare actually let you explain very well what your reasons are. You know, you're saying, look, you know, you've got to be more pragmatic, you've got to be more mature than this. You know, put it this way, if Duncan was in that position that I was in, that this character was in, he would have made exactly the same decision, and Alistair would know that as well, and he still behaved like a petulant child and ran off. So, you know, So I think I made the right decision, and I think for Royce at least this is the best. It's either this ending or the one where Alistair becomes king are the two best endings for him, but I actually do think this is probably the best ending for him. So we're going to finish the game next time. Thanks for watching, it's been a long one, so hopefully you stayed all the way through it, and I'll speak to you probably tomorrow where we're going to finish it. Then we're on to Awakening, and then Witch Hunt, so a long way to go, but in the main game, not very long, so I'll speak to you in a minute.